Releasing this week or near future? Yeah, we're well into our hour mark, I think.
Oh, sure. Well, we said the first hour. I mean, the first show is going to be long because there's a lot of stuff that's not this week that we want to talk about.
Right.
Mortal Kombat, the complete edition. Basically, it says Mortal Kombat 9 coming out on the PC. Comes out tomorrow, but I couldn't find a price point for it. It'll probably be $10 cheaper than it originally was because it's PC, and they don't have the licensing expenses that they do for the consoles.
It'll probably be
$39, maybe $49 probably. Was it $50?
Really think so?
How much?
With all the DLC? I think you can buy it.
Well, I mean, how much is a Game of the Year edition with the DLCs? The same price as the normal game?
$30 or $40.
I mean, that would be nice.
Cheap. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 20 or 30.
The DLCs are just characters, right?
4 characters.
And then new maps too, or new levels or fighting chambers?
They never do levels. They never do backgrounds. It's just characters. You got Rain. You got Freddy Krueger.
Wow, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. He was fun too.
Is he kind of like Vega? Just kind of uses claws.
Actually, they gave him an extra pair of claws, so he's got claws on both hands.
That's kind of weird, but okay.
I can't remember the other two. But yeah, no, that was a fantastic edition. I played the shit out of that game.
And then we got Dark is coming out for not PS3 but for Xbox and PC. Did you watch the trailer for that or anything?
Is that the vampire game? That third person, or am I just way off?
Literally, I watched all of them, but that one for some weird reason. Like I watched all the trailers, or at least knew what the game was. I think I spent so much time trying to figure out prices for things because I didn't actually realize how annoying it was to try to find new releases online until I tried to do it for this.
Yeah, it's
like literally you go to one place and they'll have a couple, and then like I'm on Steam and Steam has like way more than I ever want to talk about because there's a lot of indie games or just early access games that come active all the time you don't even know about until like the day of.
Right.
But yeah, I mean,
well, it's summertime. It's dry right now. There's not much even coming out, so not until August we'll start getting an influx. Yeah,
Civilization 5 Brand New World, which seems very expensive for an add-on. I'm assuming it's a fairly large add-on with lots of gameplay.
I would hope so.
But God, it's expensive for a PC, especially for a PC add-on.
$27?
I mean,
that's.
I don't know, but I guess the expansion to StarCraft 2 it was $40, but that's down to whole multiplayer.
Civilization's a relatively popular game.
Yeah, it is.
If you got that demand, then they're probably.
Well, if they add enough content, I mean, it might be like a whole new game basically, but with like a different era. I have no idea. I'd have to ask Aaron. Maybe we'll talk about the next show because buddy Aaron plays it.
Okay.
I'm not. Yeah. He played quite a bit of. At least the initial game. I'm not sure anything else.
I'm not really surprised.
And then there's early releases that came out today that were Interstellar Marine, which it's a first-person shooter game, indie developer. I actually bought it. It's $15, and the earlier you buy it in early access for most PC games, the cheaper it is, because you're kind of helping out them finish their product.
Right.
And so it'll, I'm sure by the end of the early access, so when it goes live, it'll be $20 more expensive probably. I started playing it. There's not a lot there. It's pretty bland so far. I think they're mostly just been working on the weather system. It's like a full weather system and light system. Like literally changes significantly throughout the map I was on, from light to dark to whatever. There's about 6 maps you can walk through and see what it looks like and that kind of stuff. It's a little bland when it comes to the materials of and like the textures of the map. Like the outside looks good, but the buildings and metal looks really bland, which I'm sure is just part of the fact that they haven't finished the game yet.
Right. And
then the other ones I haven't. I didn't even really look at because they didn't look interesting. But Infested Planet, Horizon, and Soulforge.
And then the sequel to the award-winning Walking Dead Xbox Live Arcade game.
Which those are actually pretty cheap. They're not like $5.
They were. In fact, I bought them when they were on sale back in December, and I think I ended up getting the whole thing for like $10. All 5 episodes.
Yeah, that's cheap.
Or 4 or 5
and
episodes.
I heard it was fun, and it's kind of, if you've definitely watched the series, right, it's really good to play them because you kind of get more of a storyline. It continues the story, right?
It fills in some gaps. It plays like a motion comic.
Yeah,
which is
it's choose your own adventure.
Yeah, it's kind of a choose your own adventure, and it's good. My problem with it is you're getting attacked by something, and your menu bar pops up, and you've got like 4 choices, and you've got to read a sentence that's like 12 words long.
Yeah.
So you're trying to make your best decision, and your time's running out, and you've got like this much time before you die, before you finally make a decision.
If you're a speed reader,
if you're a speed
really
reader,
good at
you're
that game.
great. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but at the same time, those whole instances are pretty cool as far as instilling that panic that an actual person would feel.
That's exactly the point.
But like you said, the paragraphs kind of, it's
some
like,
of them are a bit long.
Oh, what? Yeah. No, it's. I actually just started playing that too. I just finished the first chapter. I don't know if you probably wouldn't get them into them, Adam, just because it is very story driven and kind of slow at times.
Mm-hmm. I think if I'd watched it, I really need to watch the series. My girlfriend got interested in it, and she watched some of it, and then she got ahead of me because I didn't watch any of it. But so I think if I watch it, I might play it just because, if there was a Dexter game, I'm sure I'd watch it or play it just because of the storyline, maybe.
Last season. Anyways, that's for another.
And then Microsoft's 2 free games a month officially kicked off yesterday, and their game for the first half is Defense Grid.
It's a
tower defense.
Yeah, I got it on the PC a year and a half ago, probably. It's not very expensive. I mean, the game initially was maybe $15. I don't really remember. I was going to go search my history, and I didn't even know how I could do that. I mean, I'm sure I could have gone back years, but that seems annoying.
Your purchase history.
Yeah, my purchase history. But it was fun. I mean, I got all the way to... I didn't finish it just because... I don't know if it's because I lost interest or...
It's probably too hard for you.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the last level was... I think it was like close to the last level. It might have gotten too hard, or I just didn't want to put enough effort into it to finish it.
I like tower defense games, but they're definitely a casual title for me. I like sitting down and just... Like, I loved Halo Wars. And
I haven't played that.
Oh, I loved it. And that just, it fit me perfectly, but other stuff like that I can't.
If it was on the PC, I definitely would have played it.
Yeah.
That's my biggest. I hate exclusives just because I don't play other consoles. Anything but PC usually.
I was one of the rare ones that actually enjoyed that game.
You got Brink on Xbox?
It's still sitting on my shelf. Because I guarantee you,
I was so excited for that game when they announced it.
We were too. We watched the trailers. I think we went opening night. Like we went that night at midnight and bought it.
We were so annoyed
and so disappointed. Literally, I've never played a game where the AI against you is 120% better than the AI that they give you to play with. Like, I don't know why it's not the same AI. Like, why are my guys stupider than your guys? I don't understand.
And it's objectives you can't do alone, so you're just like...
Oh, yeah, like we try to play together, and it's like we would be holding down a point, or we'd both be holding down a point, and then the AI would just, like, not be there. Like, they would be off. They'd be off in
a corner picking their nose.
No, like, they would spawn, and then, like, be at the spawn location and, like, doing stuff. I don't remember what they'd be doing, because it's been years since I played it, but God, that game was just...
Yeah, let's not forget about the announcer or the radio guy. This area's being taken over. This area's being taken over.
Yeah, I get it.
AI obviously can't defend anything. No, that's horrible.
And then we got the NCAA football 2014.
That comes out on the 9th. It's $60. I'm sure it's worth that. I'm sure they've changed a lot since 13.
Every year, I tell myself I'm not going to buy Madden.
And then you do?
And I do.
Well, what I wish that the NFL wasn't doing what Microsoft does for Black Ops, where it's just like, oh, you're going to throw money at me? Oh, you can just have the rights.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, as we all know, the best game of all time is Tecmo Super Bowl.
Yes.
And
I second that motion.
Really disappoints me that there's only one game that can use players' names. I mean, it killed the sports industry for me for games because there's no innovation at all.
Yeah.
I mean, they might improve graphics slightly. Maybe, I mean, they all still look like they're... Like, the running in all the games still looks terrible. In basketball, when they dunk, it looks like... I don't know. I'm not sure what it looks like, but it doesn't look like a real dunk.
No.
I don't know. They haven't fixed a lot of the physics issues that's been an issue for 10 years. And I think if they would have had competition, someone else might have... And they wouldn't be the number one. You know, there would be multiple games. And you could have, I don't know. I just don't like. I don't like the exclusive of games. Yeah. Where one developer has 100% control forever for a game.
I think they almost lost it last year. I think they almost gave it up, but
They threw enough money at it.
they must have. Yeah. So.
No, that's just frustrating.
So.
But you play them.
I do play Madden. I play Madden.
Not the college ones though.
No, I don't play.
You don't follow college sports.
I
So you don't
follow
care.
college. No.
I'd probably play as I'd probably be University of Idaho and do really well. Definitely win the I don't even know what league we're in, but it's
I have no idea.
the Northwest Terribles.
Yeah.
I guess BSU was good for a while, but that's
they moved divisions.
Yeah, they're in a different division. They're in the Mountain Division, I think, now or something. Anyways, sports is not part of the show.
No, not part of the show.
So.
Not unless we're talking about the game.
Yep.
So.
Let's see. I guess did we want to do a little quick thing about any new games we played that we liked, or did we want to just?
Yeah, we can do that. I finally got my hands on a copy of The Last of Us. That's
PS3 only, right?
PS3 exclusive. It's the first PlayStation game I have bought since DC Universe Online. I work weekends, so I could have gone to a midnight release, but I chose not to.
What day did it come out on?
It came out on a Friday.
Yeah,
that's really weird.
And most of them come out on Tuesdays.
Tuesday,
yeah. So it came out on a Friday, and I had to work. I could have gone to a midnight release, but I thought, no, maybe I'll go get it in the morning. Morning came around, no. And so I go Monday, everybody's sold out. Everybody in town.
Even Walmart?
Walmart, Hastings,
yeah.
Gameplay, Kmart, Shopko, everybody was sold out. GameStop in Moscow was sold out. So I sat around for a couple days trying to figure out what I was going to do, because I intended on doing a review for it.
Yeah.
And then I ended up ordering it first thing Tuesday morning through Hastings, express delivery. It got there on a Saturday.
Wow.
So of course you could play because you worked.
A week and a half later, I finally get my hands on it, and then the next day, Deadpool came out, and I felt
it was faster playthrough. So
it was a faster playthrough, and I felt that was gonna
it
the
was
target
more
audience. It was more relevant, and the time spent poorly audience that I felt that would mend with better. Plus, you can't walk 5 feet without hearing The Last of Us as a masterpiece. So
you wanted to do it justice.
At this point, I don't see myself doing a review for it.
What's the point?
Yeah, what's the point? I mean, it's 2 weeks now, and I'm 6 hours into the 18-hour playthrough.
Yeah, so.
But I did play the crap out of Deadpool. It wasn't a bad game, but it was far from a good game.
Well, I understand. Derek had some comments about it as a fanboy. It's what it's supposed to be, and then as an actual gamer, it's it might be storyline-ish wise and character what he says similar, but the mechanics of the game and the flow of the game was terrible comparatively to what it could have been.
Right. I mean, a casual gamer is going to love the game. It's going to be fun. But a hardcore gamer, I went out and I spent $50 on it, which is $10 cheaper than average, because High Moon Studios knew what they were putting out.
It's also $10 cheaper than that on the PC.
Yeah. High Moon knew what they were putting out. But as a hardcore gamer, there's no replay value there. I mean, the only costumes you can unlock are for the challenge maps after you've beaten them 3 times and you finally get to the infinite time limit version, then you get a different costume.
So once you've done everything you could possibly do in the game, they gave you something that you could wear in the game.
Only in the challenge map. In the specific challenge map that you're playing, you get one extra specific
So the thing you're
costume.
tired of.
So the thing you're tired of playing.
That's almost as bad as the arena in Borderlands 1.
Yeah. And there's no collectibles. There's no comics to find. There's nothing.
The you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Moxies.
Yeah, the Moxies. That was out of all 3 of them, that was by far the worst one.
Well,
but it felt that probably feels like that, where you're you do it and you get no you do it enough.
It's
you just don't want to do anymore.
It's the same maps that you played in the game. It's the same enemies you've just spent 8 hours.
Well, that was my
playing.
biggest problem with the game. Is there 8 different models for enemies in the game, excluding bosses?
Right.
Yeah, that's not for hack and slash. That's really low.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and they explain it, like at one point he makes a joke. He's like, haven't we seen this guy already, or haven't we, these all guys all look the same to me? And then somebody pipes up and like, oh, it must be the cloning process. And that's the main plot of the story. Is a side note in a conversation during battle is the main plot of the story.
That's kind of weird.
So yeah, it just, as a hardcore gamer, I mean, I could have gave it a 6, but I couldn't. I gave it a 5.
Yeah,
5 out of 10.
I didn't even finish. I didn't even finish it. I literally got on my computer and I was like, yeah, I feel like playing something else. I'm sure.
The humor was good. I mean, I giggled a few times. I laughed, but overall, the experience just.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, there's some funny things. I understand he's insane and he talks to himself and all that kind of stuff. It's just
I love a character that's fully aware of themselves. Yeah. I do. I'm a sucker for that. So I was excited for that, and it just didn't feel like it worked right.
Yeah.
So, but
Tom, anything you've been playing?
Like I mentioned earlier, I've been playing through the Black Ops 2 campaign. It's definitely better than the Black Ops 1 campaign. Like, worlds better. They put you in some pretty interesting environments. Like, they definitely improved on the graphics. The character models look fantastic. It does, certain parts of the game take place in the future about, I think it's 2025. So they add in little things that are kind of neat. They have one part where you're in a futuristic island built, and you're kind of in a shopping part of it, and they have. We're all familiar with like the posters of like for cologne products or stuff like that, where handsome men would stand next to women. What they did is, as you walk by, because it's a future and you wear like a little sensor, it puts a picture of your character's face on the boards.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, just little things like that. They have some neat.
I can see that coming.
Kind of like
technology.
What was that movie?
Neat weapons
with Tom Cruise.
Minority.
Yeah, Minority Report. Yeah, it's the same kind of thing where it was the eyes though.
It's the plot's not too shabby. It's a little convoluted here and there, but you actually kind of feel bad for the bad guy. So there's a lot of good plot elements. I haven't completed it yet. The levels are pretty fluid. The graphics are great, even on 360. So far, no big complaints. I mean, it's not on par with the first Modern Warfare, but then again, not very many first-person shooters are. But I'd recommend if you like a quick pace. One complaint is in Modern Warfare games, for example, where you're doing the bombing runs or whatever, and those are a blast. They tried doing something else with this game, and they put you in these situations where you need to defend something or attack something, and you control squads, and you can control soldiers and like little armored robots that have guns on them, or little hovercrafts. This is in the future. And you can go from above and order them to different places or attack certain units. And they try to make it strategic. However, you just find yourself, you can actually go into every unit, and like you're in the first person, and you just find yourself just taking over a soldier or a robot, doing all the you might as well just do all the work yourself, because everyone's too stupid or it's too hard to control all the elements. It definitely doesn't have the fun factor Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 1 had. So I haven't had a chance to play the zombie mode yet, but the campaign's not bad.
I've tried the zombies a couple times, and then I play for about 6 minutes, and I realize that it was a better idea to think about it than actually do it. I don't like zombies. I think it's really weird, but some people do. I think it's more for a younger generation, maybe. Like my nephew seems to really like it. Him and his buddies would play it for hours.
Yeah, my son loves it.
I find the lack of feeling accomplished. I don't know. Like the fact that it's just like when you're done, and you start all over, frustrates me in anything. Right.
It might be, also you and your friends might play online the regular deathmatch. It might just be like, let's take a break. Especially because people do get mad at these kinds of games. It's like you rage quit, so it's just like, let's just screw around.
Yeah, but then you go play zombies and get even angry. I've actually, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just because I've had a kid now and I'm like more calm, or I have to be more calm about things, because you'd get frustrated just from being up at 4 a.m. and doing stuff you don't want to do. Yeah. But that's I haven't actually been raging that much, which is nice. It's nice for my girlfriend. She doesn't hear me screaming upstairs.
Yeah.
Playing
Not screaming, doing the what the fuck or something really loud.
Shit, fucker.
You playing any new games?
I played. It's only on the PC right now. But it's called Mag Runner, Dark Pulse. I can't remember the end of it. It's kind of like Portal 2, similar game. Instead of using portals, it uses polarities, positive and negative polarities, or whatever it would do to get things done. And you're controlling a cube most of the time and launching yourself and doing stuff like that, and you're controlling platforms and stuff. It was good. It was like $15. So anything that's $15, I kind of just I'll buy it.
A brain teaser kind of.
Yeah, it's a puzzle. It's a complete puzzle game. It's based off of the Lovecraft Cthulhu world, basically. Obviously, with a more modern take on it. But there's 39 levels. My only real complaint was the beginning was really easy. Mm-hmm. I mean, almost too easy.
So the curve was...
And it went on for too long. The first 12 levels or 13 levels are introductory. I think it was the first 16, which is a little much. I mean, anyone that's going to buy this game has played Portal 1 or Portal 2 most likely. And they're going to understand at least their goal is to open a door.
Right.
To get to the next room.
Right.
It has some pretty cool elements where in Portal, there's not really any, as far as I remember, you're not ever the only way you die is by falling into the abyss, right?
Portal, falling into acid or
falling into something. It's not actually somebody chasing you or trying to kill you.
Oh no, the turrets.
Yeah, you had turrets.
Oh, I guess turrets. Yeah,
right.
But not. I mean, they're stationary. There's turrets in this too, but there's actually, you get to a point where obviously it's kind of like in Portal where you're doing the initial levels that are set up by a company, and then something goes wrong, and it's a clone when it comes to that kind of thing. And then you start seeing these enemies that are mutant type things. It's like a fin, and they're large with claws, and they're not attacking you or anything, but the music gets really ominous, and I was playing 2 a.m, and it almost felt like I was playing a Resident Evil game where I'm not, I've never played this game before, so I'm not sure if I'm going to get attacked. You're on a platform going above water, and you see them go, they kind of just come up against the water and then go back down. You're like, am I about to get eaten? I'm not sure what's going on. You don't, but later on, there's a couple levels where you're getting chased by them. It's almost kind of like adding a timer type thing where you have to get from point A to point B without this thing catching you and eating you. That was kind of interesting. I mean, it was definitely a nice change of pace. And then, things with Cthulhu happen, and you're in outer space, and it's fun. Cool. And then I also played a game called Unepic. It's a platformer RPG type game. You basically are just going through rooms and killing enemies and trying to just complete. You're a gamer, like a normal casual gamer who goes to the bathroom, and then something happens, and you are in this world that you think is you're dreaming.
Right.
And you get inhabited by this ghost who can't control you, and he's confused about it. And he just makes fun of you the whole time, basically. Basically calls you an idiot, and you're not sophisticated, and you don't know what you're doing. And then you're kind of a drunk frat boy, almost seems like. So that's kind of how the conversations go. It's fun. I mean, it was only I don't know. I think it was $7.99 or something. But it was pretty fun. I haven't finished it yet. It's fairly long. It'll probably take me 20-25 hours to finish, but
wow, that's
yeah,
that is.
It's basically you're just there's inventory systems, and it's almost like you're playing an old school game, but with current inventories, and you're kind of making stuff, and it's definitely a very casual, fun game. But they do have a hard difficulty where the monsters will see you from halfway across the map and come chasing after you, and it makes it a little harder, and they do more damage and stuff. But
almost sounds like a easier version of Bard's Tale. As far as kind of is it kind of a dungeon crawler-esque RPG? Or?
Oh yeah, it's 2D where you're jumping up levels. It's almost like what Contra looked like, where it's just you're literally 2D and you're jumping
side
up.
Scroller.
Yeah, total side scroller.
That's right.
RPG, and but it's definitely. I feel like it was worth the $8 I spent on it so far. I mean, I probably put I played it for about 4 hours and then realized I completely fucked up my build. Because you level up and you get points to put in certain things, and like you can put points in bows or certain weapons,
right.
And you realize pretty fast that you need like a wand because there's something that's fire. You need a frost wand and you do way more damage that way, or you're just going to use all your arrows or something like that. And I didn't do that.
Sure.
So I replayed it back again to where I was, so I probably spent 12 hours into it, and I'm only about
unforgiving
35%. Yeah, exactly. You gotta and you can't. There's no respecking.
Like Diablo 2.
Oh,
yeah. But it's not only that. You're specking in a specific weapon, like maces. So if you get like a nice drop of like a sword, or you realize that your play style is more towards maces and you didn't realize it, you want something slow that hits hard or something like that. You're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but that's always, people enjoy that in games too. I mean, that's kind of the point of the style of games.
No, yeah. Some people like
it's very serious. No. Well, I think that's it, right?
Alrighty, yeah, it sounds good to me. So we want to mention the Facebook page, Time Spent Poorly.
Yep, and then our YouTube page, Time Spent Poorly.
YouTube page, Time Spent Poorly, one word.
Yep, all one word.
And then there's
Twitter is
TSP
_1. See,
I always forget what that's called.
Somebody else has it, and Twitter only has so many characters, and literally the character spells out the entire Time Spent Poorly. You can't add anything else after that. There's not enough characters; they won't let you.
Right.
So every other alteration of it was taken. So that's what it is right now until we can figure out who has the other one.
It works. We're getting some followers. It's picking up.
Yeah.
And then me personally is Johnny525.
And then I'm SC Sampson. Tom does not have one.
Tom does not have one.
I'm not.
You got to get on that.
Moving up with the world, I guess.
It's one of the most useful customer service devices I've ever come across.
Oh yeah, I remember you were having problems with your
everything. I have problems with. I hop on Twitter, and it's fixed.
Well, everyone can see it, so it's kind of like all the customer base can see it. So it's kind of.
Did you hear about the guy that played Chewbacca in the Star Wars movies? Was at Denver. He was leaving Denver Comic Con, and he's a certified giant. So I mean, they only have a certain life expectancy of so long.
Oh yeah, because their hearts are the same size as normal people, and
and their bones start to break down, and it's really hard on their knees. Well, he's got a custom cane that looks exactly like a lightsaber.
That's awesome.
Security took it away from him.
Oh my!
They thought it was a weapon, and he's like, "It's my cane. I need it to walk." It's not a weapon. It's not a sword. It's not a beating club. It's my cane.
I don't know if they realize, but lightsabers don't actually exist.
Right. Well, they took it away from him, so he jumped on Twitter and called out for his fans, help me. I mean, get at Delta Airlines or whoever, American Airlines, whoever he was supposed to be flying with.
Oh, it was at the airport.
He was at the airport.
Oh, I thought it was at Comic-Con.
No.
I was like, I thought they could bring him props.
He was leaving Comic-Con.
Yeah.
He was at Denver International Airport. And I think it was American Airlines. I'm not positive. But they saw his tweet and saw the response people were getting, and they got right back to him and got out there and got it straightened out. And gave him his cane back.
No, I mean, people that are handicapped, if you try and make them, take things from them, I mean, you could get sued significantly. I'm
actually surprised they've seen because I'm diabetic, they've seen my insulin needles and insulin. They never bat an eye.
Well, but there's a lot of people with diabetics in this country.
No, I understand that, but
diabetes.
But when you're talking about so much fluid, and not only that, but people get pulled over for worse things. A cane, for example.
Right.
I'm just saying that.
Yeah, that is true.
That's what I was just saying. I was surprised. Out of all the airports I've gone to, they don't even. It's not.
Yeah, well, they probably won't again. That's kind of how that works. It happens one time, and then
you're going without. Alrighty, so same time next week.
Yeah, we'll be doing it on Tuesdays, and it'll probably be live on Wednesdays, just because of, we're doing it late.
Sounds good.
Huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction. Aperture. This was a triumph. I'm making a note here. Huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction. Aperture science. We do what we must because we can. For the good of all of us, except the ones who are dead. But there's no sense crying over every mistake. You just keep on trying till you run out of cake. And the science gets done and you make a neat gun for the people who are still alive. I'm not even angry. I'm being so sincere right now. Even though you broke my heart and killed me and tore me to pieces and threw every piece into a fire. As they burned, it hurt because I was so happy for you. Now these points of data make a beautiful line, and we're out of data, we're releasing on time. So I'm glad I got burned. Think of all the things we learned for the people who are still alive. Go ahead and leave me. I think I prefer to stay inside. Maybe you'll find someone else to help you. Maybe Black Mesa.